Okay, welcome back. Okay, now part of that setup was having to get this sorted out because this one is by DB Wild and was done for side scrollers and is on X. It's on another channel as well, but I couldn't find it on there, so I went with the X one, and we're going to see if this works. I've had to jank it around a bit, as you can see by the weird screen you've got here behind me. So let's give this one a listen. Okay, that didn't work.
Stepping up for the daily grind. Craig and Blab's got truth on their mind. Phoenix on the side and keeping it real. Talking all the news with an honest appeal. Side scrollers, crank it up. Let the truth ignite. The crew's on point, bringing sense to the mic. No BS, just the vibes we adore. Normal men, common sense, keep giving us more. Keep giving us more. Craig's got the grit, and he won't back down. Blab's got that flair, but she ain't no clown. Phoenix keeps it smooth, streaming everywhere, bringing on their pals with the takes to share. Side scrollers, crank it up, let the truth ignite. The crew's on point, bringing sense to the mic. No BS, just the vibes we adore. Normal men, common sense, keep giving us more. Keep giving us more. Side scrollers, crank it up, let the truth ignite. The crew's on point, bringing sense to the mic. No BS, just the vibes we adore. No man, common sense, keep giving us more. Keep giving us more. Keep giving us
Okay. Now I knew this existed, but I didn't actually watch it when it went on the show the other day. I was busy doing other things. What you got to remember is that DB Wild works with them. He doesn't work for them, I don't think. But hopefully he will be on there regularly as like an advocate for AI stuff and that, or just VTubing in general. I think a lot of people don't seem to understand just how much AI there is in VTubing. Maybe not so much with what I've got here in my setup, but even my tracking software uses some predictive AI, if not creative AI. And people are going, yeah, that's okay. It's predictive, is okay. It's creative that's the issue. It's like, well, it's an iteration on predictive. But anyway, this is what I'd call a showcase video. I cannot navigate this. Now, that was an idea that fell apart almost immediately. Right, can navigate here though. Fortunately, it's a tiny screen. But I'll do this. I wanted to avoid doing this. What I can get. The entire point of doing that pop-out thing was to avoid having to do this. So yeah, this is what I'd call a I call it a display video, similar to yes, Harble, precisely that. It comes down to sheer just lack of understanding of what AI is. It's like people talk about AI and they talk about Skynet. Well, Skynet isn't an AI. Skynet's an AGI. And when I talk about Skynet, I'm talking about like the horror movie style AI. They're actually AGIs, which is actualized generalized intelligence, which is more than we're likely to see. People suggest we can get there in about 15 years. I'm thinking, from what I've seen, we're more like 50 years away from that. But yeah, so the generative AI doesn't still work if you people. Yeah. Anyway, this is a showcase video, much like Cinevere's video was, where it's a series of clips linked together. Now this is quite nicely edited for that. It's done to the lyrics, not to the beat. There is some beat shifting and there's a flickering to the actual video throughout, which I think is a little too much. See that pulse? It gets more obvious on the animated scenes than the single figure scenes, but it's continuous. It's the same thing I called Nihilith up on one of his Clown World videos. I think it was the third one. Clown World, or was it? It was the third one of the trios, either Food or Clown World. I think it was Clown World, where it didn't stop pulsing. And that can tire the eyes out. And it's already a very active scene video. Cuts are in line with the lyrics. That was close, but they could have timed that to the beat a little easier. Yeah, he's completely talking to her. Yeah, not talking to them. Now, while it's quite a harsh beat song, it's a soft lyric song. There's a lot of more sort of things to it. So the soft edits work well for that. Problem is, it's doing the hard beat pulse constantly throughout. Some of these cuts should be harsher cuts rather than just being fade cuts. but it's still very well done. But I will say the voice has fallen into the valley. Where it's not actually rising above the music or dropping below the music. It's clear enough, but it's not it feels like an instrument, not a vocal track. Thing is, when it comes to AI art and like the commissioning of art stuff, is while I do like AI, and I do know that I could get my model, for example, I could probably get 90% of it done through AI, with rigging being the one part that really I haven't seen any AI tool do to any kind of real effect. It's a really weird thing. So I think people have shown me their AI rigging tools. I would still rather hire someone to do my model of the update, for example. I've already got ideas of what I would want for an update. For example, the eyes. I've mentioned this several times. The eyes on this model are too small. I think they look good on the model, but because of the way my actual eyes are and the way the camera catches it, them being as small as they are means I look like my eyes are closed most of the time. I need slightly larger eyes on the model. And I could adjust that on a thing with AI, but I'd rather get an artist to do it because you can really focus on getting exactly what you want without it suddenly going, oh yeah, now we fixed everything in your face area and now your shirt icon is completely different. But I didn't want the shirt changed. Too bad we changed it because I'm AI and I do what I want. See, the timing of his cuts is very, very good. I just wish some of the cuts were sharper cuts or different cuts. He just uses the same cut over and over again for the scene changes, which is the fade cut. And cut down on the pulsing in sections a little bit. But still, very, very good work from DB Wild. There is a... go give the original some love. Now give me a moment while I have to readjust my screens, and I bet you, even though I only wanted to zoom in on this, everything else is zoomed in on other pages. No. Miracles.